the dignitaries, Professor Mishra, Dr. N.K. Mishra, Professor P.N. Tandon, Professor Banerjee, Professor Subrat Roy, Sinha, Dr. T.S. Rao, for the second functional neurosurgery workshop. And now may I request all the dignitaries to come on the dais for the inauguration ceremony. Professor Mishra, Professor P.N. Tandon, Professor Banerjee, Dr. T.S. Rao, Dr. Subrat Sinha, Professor B.S. Sharma, Dr. N.K. Mishra. I think we are short of us. May I now request Dr. Aparna to welcome the dignitaries with a bouquet of flowers, and Dr. Arpana to welcome the dignitaries with the bouquet of flowers. Professor M.C. Mishra is Director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Professor P.N. Tandon is the father figure for all of us. Professor Banerjee, Dr. T.S. Rao, he is Senior Advisor to Department of Biotechnology. Dr. Subrat Sinha, he is Director NBRC. Dr. N.K. Mishra, he is Chief of Neurosciences Center. Professor B.S. Sharma, he is Head of the Department of Neurosurgery. May I now request Professor B.S. Sharma to welcome all the dignitaries and the delegates.
Honorable Professor M.C. Mishra, Director AIMS, Professor P.N. Tandon, Padam Vibhushan, and father figure for all of us, Professor A.K. Banerjee, Professor Emeritus, Professor T.S. Rao, Senior Advisor, Professor N.K. Mishra, Professor Subrato Sinha, Professor Ashwani Sharan, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for this first ever advanced live epilepsy surgery and neurobiology and functional workshop. This workshop, as we know, is being conducted under the aegis of prestigious Center of Excellence for Epilepsy, which is funded so graciously by Department of Biotechnology, and it is a part of our 50 years of Golden Jubilee celebration of neurosciences. Now, epilepsy is one key neurological area which has a huge treatment gap, and there are about 10 million estimated people suffering from epilepsy. And considering about that 20% of epilepsy is drug resistant, so 2 million people will be a potential surgical candidates for epilepsy surgery. And to this burden, every year, 20,000 persons are added. Now, currently in India, only around 400 patients are operated every year, and AIMS contributes about 50% of these. That is, the 200 patients per annum are operated in AIMS itself. I am very proud to state, as head of the Department of Neurosurgery at AIMS, that we are able to establish one of the best epilepsy surgery programs, not only in India, but around the globe. Now, for this, I would like to thank all the other departments for having supported us, like neurology, neuroradiology, nuclear medicine, neuroanesthesia, and NBRC. Without their support, this program would have not been possible. We have currently all the advanced facilities to perform this procedure of epilepsy surgeries, which include neuronavigation, intraoperative MRI, high-density EEG, navigated transmagnetic stimulation, and magnetoencephalography, which has been established under the Center of Excellence for Epilepsy at NBRC, and a very advanced epilepsy neurobiology lab, which is named after Professor P.N. Tandon. Now, this lab is first of its kind in the country with capabilities of single cell recording facilities. It would often, I would advise the delegates who are attending this workshop, if they wish to visit this lab, we will arrange this for them. And it's worth visiting this lab. To this armamentarium, we will also soon add a robotic device, and we also have decided to take a percutaneous laser device, which is an highly advanced state-of-art facility which is going to be demonstrated in this workshop. I also have the pleasure of inviting Professor Ashwani Sharan, Professor of Neurosurgery, Thomas Jefferson, USA, who is currently one of the top surgeons in the field of epilepsy in US. We are happy that he could join us for this workshop as an invited faculty. He has successfully operated a hypothalamic hematoma patient yesterday and using this minimally invasive technique, and presently the patient is doing very well. He has one stitch, a single stitch technique, and we plan to discharge him today. I would like to inform that this is the first time ever this procedure has been demonstrated outside USA anywhere in the world. I am sure the delegates will enjoy the plethora of cases we have posted for these 2 days. At the end, I would like to thank our Honorable Director for having accepted to come for the inauguration, Professor P.N. Tandon, Professor Banerjee, for continuing support and their blessings. Finally, I would like to thank the DBT Director, Dr. T.S. Rao, for his gracious support towards this much needed and noble cause. Thank you very much. God bless you, and I wish all the success for this.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Professor P.S. Chandra to introduce the guests as well as to provide a brief introduction about the workshop that we will be having.
Respected teachers, honorable members on the dais, Professor M.C. Mishra, Director AIMS, Professor P.N. Tandon, Professor Banerjee, Professor Subrat Sinha, Dr. T.S. Rao, Professor N.K. Mishra, and Professor Sharma, my head. It indeed gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all for this first ever epilepsy surgery, epilepsy neurobiology, and functional workshop. This workshop, I think, is one of the most unique workshops to be held anywhere in the world, because it's going to combine both the surgical aspect as well as the neurobiology aspect. And it is very encouraging to note that as many as 150 people have registered, even though I think people are just turning up because this is usually the inaugural function. And as has been very aptly spoken by Professor B.S. Sharma, the need to develop this subspecialty in this country is enormous, and the potentials are enormous. So as of today, I think any department in this country cannot afford not to have an epilepsy surgery program. It should be developed as a part and parcel of armamentarium in every department, because there is a huge potential and a huge need to develop this program. This workshop is very graciously supported by the Department of Biotechnology and comes under the aegis of Center of Excellence for Epilepsy, which looks after which is a translational research which looks after both the clinical as well as the neurobiology part, and taking into full view this spirit of the reason why the center has been established. We will have a live workshop where we are going to do a plethora of cases which you will see. We are going to have didactic lectures. In addition, we have also have 20 PhD students for whom neurobiology of epilepsy classes will be taken and they will be shown around the neurobiology lab. The schedule for the workshop is that today we are planning to do 3 cases, of which 2 will be for mesial temporal sclerosis, which will be demonstrated by Professor Ashwini Sharan, and the other case will be for the open amygdalohypocampectomy, which is a much needed option for most of the surgeons, because I think it will take quite some time before laser device can be available in this country apart from AIMS. And then for tomorrow, we have planned to do an endoscopic hemispherotomy, which we have developed in this very institute for the first time in the world. And we will also have functional cases like pallidotomy. So overall, we are planning to do something like 5 or 6 cases between today and tomorrow. And our endeavor is to keep the didactic lectures in the same manner of what cases are being demonstrated. So with this, I once again thank everybody for having come here, especially our senior teachers and faculty, Professor M.C. Mishra and other people, for having come and given their blessings for this workshop. And as is a tradition for all the starting of good things in our Indian society, I will now request to light the lamp, which actually is to dispel darkness and invite learning. And Vivek, can I have my matches? So I will invite Professor M.C. Mishra, Professor Tandon, Professor Banerjee. Dr. Ashwini, please come and join us.
May I now request Dr. Subrat Sinha, who is Director of NBRC, to share a few words with us. Our Center of Excellence works in collaboration with NBRC, which is situated in Manesar. So please.
honorable dignitaries on the dais, Professor Mishra, Professor Tandon, Professor Banerjee, Dr. Rao, Professor B.S. Sharma, Professor Mishra again, participants, faculty, I must say that NBRC is very privileged and very happy to collaborate with AIMS on this Center for Excellence in Epilepsy. And to do this unique exercise involving patient care on one side and academics on the other, this whole spectrum, which is the heart of the philosophy of creation of AIMS as well as the creation of NBRC. And for this, we have to remember Professor Tandon, who has been we'll say his philosophy has guided the institution of NBRC, and he and Professor Banerjee have been, the same philosophy has also sort of given a direction and a philosophy to the Department of Neurosurgery and the Neurosciences Center. And another thing that I wish to elaborate is this unique administrative flexibility and unique concept that two institutions which are under two different ministries, this is, and two, which have so closely working together. And for this, I would give my thanks to the Department of Biotechnology. At that time, Professor Bhan was the guiding force behind this kind of, let us say, lateral out-of-the-box thinking. And today it is Dr. T.S. Rao who is a representative of this. And these things are not possible without the support of the heads of the CN Center, the departments. And so everybody has to go beyond their way of, administrative thinking in order to bring up this very, very useful and innovative experiment. And I must say that I would put my appreciation for the energy of Professor Sharat Chandra and Manjari, Professor Manjari Tripathi, who have really, in spite of their very, very heavy clinical duties, taken this very personal interest in developing this collaborative venture. And I wish to assure everybody that NBRC will do its best to support this unique exercise which is jointly between the two institutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your very kind words and taking time out of your very busy schedule and coming here. May I now request Dr. T.S. Rao to share a few words with us. Dr. T.S. Rao is Senior Advisor to Department of Biotechnology, who has been very instrumental in supporting the Center of Excellence. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, all of you, and Professor Respected Sir, Professor Tandon, Professor M.C. Mishra, Professor Banerjee, and dignitaries on the dais, and Professor Sinha, and other part. Ashwini is a great young surgeon, just now I came to know. It's wonderful to come over here. Of course, Sharat Chandra and all participants and students of neurosurgery. First of all, thank you very much, Sharat, just invited me for this function. I must congratulate the journey what you undertaken for the past several years, and always I believe in this persuasion and also your passion. So that will make you more deliverable to the patient care, what you are really demonstrated into that. Yes, a visionary, always I say, Professor Tandon, always for the past 30 years I'm under his mentorship or guidance, which are working on several programs. First of all, created an NBRC, which is way back, started in 1990-91, and followed by several visionary establishment in the NBRC we created over there. And thanks to Professor Ban, what he transformed our DBT functioning in a different way. What I consider this glue between a basic scientist and the clinicians. NBRC, we established the basic science in neuroscience and connected with AIMS and other 49 centers across the country. That made a lot of difference of what NBRC, very unique compared to other 14 institutions of DBT, we are organizing that. Next, we are now started Translation Health and Technology Institution as a cluster. That concept also we are making the similar way. how we really connect people together, because doing yourself is doing for several years, but thinking differently with collaborative with different disciplines and different expertise, probably that is a lot of value. That's what Professor Bhan, when taken over in a DBT, vision is a different altogether. And we enjoyed, and we have done several such things in the country, and there's a major problem in our sustainability of these centers is very important to that. You are struggling to get more finance, enriching people, capacity building, infrastructure we created, but around this infrastructure, you must have a meaningful research project where you need to really work out especially I always believe in a partnership with national international partners, and it's a great value of Dr. Ashwini's partner here. When I'm a strong believer of NIH for 30 years, I'm working with several institutions in the country. So in addition to that, a lot of other countries also, the Finland, Netherlands, a lot of things we are working on that. Please, I request all youngsters to involve, and you need to be partner into this particular area and make excellence of that. And we are proud DBT thought for creating this center of excellency with collaboration with the NBRC and also the All Medical Sciences. Thanks to all of you. You are the people you maintaining. That's very important. We may create, we may give money, we may create an infrastructure. The infrastructure properly utilized by students and also the clinicians as well as the basic scientists, then we think we are successful in that our venture into that. Once again, congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much, sir. Your support always from the aims. I could see that, whenever I could see that when I said ready, no problem, we can go ahead and do it. That's the vision we require, sir. That's a facilitation is required. And all dignitaries and Professor Tandon, of course, is our, like always I call him the Bhishmacharya of our entire our biotechnology department. We started with several years, and we, under his guidance and also blessings, probably will do much more. I wish you all the best. Anything required, DBT always support. There's no problem of going back, and this is a wonderful demonstration all of you done. Congratulations, all the best once again. Thank you for
Thank you, sir, for your very kind words. We hope that you continue to support us. May I now request Dr. N.K. Mishra, who is Chief of the Neurosciences Center, to share a few words with us. Professor Mishra is a person who has been the guiding force behind all our such endeavors.
Respected Director, respected teachers, and dear colleagues, special respect to our visiting faculty. On behalf of Neuroscience Center, I must register this moment of privilege and a very proud moment when the first workshop of this kind, and as I believe, as Dr. Sharma elaborated in the beginning, anywhere outside the world, outside the US, to have such a collaborative meeting with live demonstration and actual interaction between interested participants and some of the pioneers and path breakers in this field. Right here in AIIMS, which, as you know, is an institution created for that purpose. And in fact, it is one of our mandate that we create pathways for development of manpower, of knowledge, advancing healthcare in any which discipline of medicine that is required for this country. And therefore, it's a very proud moment that the Neurosciences Center has gained the confidence and the trust of so many people and so many governmental agencies. It goes without saying that our directors successively have supported the cause of neurosciences at this institute in the best way possible under their command. As we know, we are struggling on many fronts here in the Neuroscience Center. To house these many delegates becomes a problem sometimes. And therefore, I may, in fact, again re-register my request to our director that he should work and support us further by creating perhaps a national institute for neurosciences. Because neurosciences is an extremely wide discipline. What you are seeing today is but one facet, a very important facet, so far neglected in our country. As you see, the staggering demand for concerted efforts to not only treat epilepsy, which I believe has reached a certain stage of sophistication, but needs far more to be understood. That is where basic scientists come in. And what better could it be if the basic scientist is in league and in tune with the clinician who is facing the patient, and the biologist is the one who can give you the clue. It's like, designing a E is equal to mc square by one person, but millions needed to make it work. And as you know, E is equal to mc square is still evolving, still not finally resolved. It's only mankind with relentless effort will solve it perhaps someday. We do have that hope. And in fact, it is this neuroscience center which has endeavored to support any genuine cause in the interest of public of this country, to support any cause by incorporating all the disciplines of neurosciences. We have, as you know, 7 independent departments in the Neuroscience Center, and they all contribute within their means the best possible way to make things work. And that's why perhaps we have gained the trust of these 2 departments. So I would like to thank you all for participating. In fact, it encourages us no end. It makes our efforts worthwhile. And to that tune, I must again pay my respects for the vision our teachers created perhaps half a century ago. And they still are with us to guide us in many times in day-to-day decision-making. May I therefore wish them long life and their enduring support to us. Thank you all for joining us here today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very kind words and thoughts. May I now request Professor Banerjee to share a few words with us. Professor Banerjee is former chief of the Neurosciences Center, and it is because of his vision that what we are today.
I actually am the odd man out. Because this is one thing which, when I was here, I had desperately tried to establish, and it just didn't work. Because this is a very funny part of clinical neurosurgery I'm talking about, which requires collaboration with various people, neurology, neurosurgery, neurophysiology, and so on and so forth. And I think it's a very happy augury that the collaboration was much easier now with Manjari and Sharad, and both of them being married to each other, it must have made the task much easier. I think the days are gone when there's a huge crunch of funds. We hankered for equipment, and I won't bore you with how we started with borrowed instruments. And the world has gone on to, it has gone to the stratosphere. Now, whatever you want, funds are available, whatever you want, whatever equipment you want, you can get it. And that's a huge thing. I think it's a credit would have to go to the director and the administration. The biggest thing is that it's not only the equipment that is been made available. Yes, it has been made available, but it goes to the credit of the director and the faculty here. They happen to be workaholics, and they work day and night to improve things. And that is a very peculiar culture which this place has, which there are very few places which have that type of intense application in doing whatever they are. Second thing is, whatever is obtained through funds from various sources is fully utilized. That is a very big thing, because if you get something and you are unable to use it, and that again goes to the credit of the leadership of Professor Misra, the director, and all the faculty which is here. Well, all good wishes, and we look forward to seeing wonderful things happening at this place, and Dr. Ashwini Saran's visit here would be the proper fillip to reignite, or shall I say ignite, the cause of epilepsy surgery. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very kind words. I hope you continue to guide us in future as well. May I now request Professor P.N. Tandon to share a few words with us. Professor P.N. Tandon is a visionary. He is a mentor for so many neuroscientists and scientists right across the country. He is recipient of the highest civilian honors in the country.
Professor Mishra, friends, there's one thing about being an Indian, which many of you don't realize. We had a visiting professor from Sweden, Stockholm, for 2 weeks, and one of those days before he left, he said, "You know something, I envy you nothing except the way people in this country still have regard for their elderly people. That's something which we miss in Stockholm." So I'm here in my capacity as probably the oldest person in this hall, and that of course has a disadvantage also, because it only brings memories. But before it brings memories, it also keeps on telling you how backward you are. What you people are doing today, we only dreamt about it. We couldn't do it. On the other hand, I still remember the days when the pioneers of epilepsy surgery, like Dr. Penfield, Dr. Rasmussen, Dr. Christiansen, at that time in the whole world, you could count the number of people who were doing epilepsy surgery on the fingers of your 2 hands. And most of the surgeons who did not do epilepsy surgery, as well as 99% of the neurologists, and probably 100% of other physicians, thought that this is a redundant part of our work. That people who have nothing better to do in surgery chase the spikes, as they used to be called, the spike chasers. What happened? Today, there is no self-respecting department of neurosurgery that doesn't have epilepsy surgery. Why did it take such a long time to develop? Dr. Banerjee referred to it very casually in his usual style. We tried epilepsy surgery, having been trained in Montreal, having trained in Oslo. In both places, they were the centers for epilepsy surgery. We wanted to start epilepsy surgery here. And we did, way, way back. And then suddenly it stopped. I still remember one of the patients with a epileptic focus in supplementary motor area, clinically suspected. We made an electrode, put it there, recorded it, removed this and cured the patient of his seizures. How did it happen? Because there was a neurologist who was interested in doing that. And I am saying this to all our young people, the neurosurgeons that they are. If you wish to do epilepsy surgery, you may not follow Dr. Sarath Chandra and marry one, but that's the easiest way anyway. If you marry one, then it's probably helps. But if you don't marry, then at least do something to entice some neurologist. And many of them happen to be ladies, so it is simpler to try your charms. While it is important to do what you are going to see in the next couple of days, advance frontiers of our work. Not work at frontier, but advance frontiers. And that's the function assigned, that's the objective assigned to All India Institute of Medical Sciences. And we have been making continuous efforts in this direction. And as Dr. Banerjee mentioned, we have been very fortunate to have series of leaders here who supported such activities in the truth. How was micro neurosurgery started here? We invited a team from Germany, Hans Pia with his colleagues, the anesthetist and all. They came here, they gave a course, and then we started. Now we can train any number of people, and so that's why Ashwini's presence here is so important. This is the tradition of this institute. But something that has taken a little longer than we had wanted is to have interaction between institutes, so many of them in Delhi. Today we have very deep collaboration in the Department of Neurosurgery and IIT on one hand, National Institute of Immunology on second, National Brain Research Center on third. Now you will be surprised, why wasn't it here? The National Brain Research Center was supposed to be here in this institute. It was a proposal started even before I joined the faculty of this institute. But for bizarre administrative reasons, it had to be 50 kilometers away from here. But distance does not matter if our aims are clear. If our aim is to cross that frontier, then we can go anywhere. In search for knowledge, in search for collaboration to advance knowledge. And I think that is what gladdens my heart a great deal. To see that continuous efforts are on, and we have been fortunate obviously that we passed through a period when, if I may tell historical background, when we wanted to create a neuroscience center, we couldn't get it here, but we got it through DBT to create the center. So if you wish to do something, you have to look for avenues anywhere and everywhere. Now, the last thing that I'll see, since so many young people are here who will be willing to start epilepsy surgery, please, for heaven's sake, don't get away with an idea that unless you have all these equipments, all these facilities, all these support, you can not do epilepsy surgery. That is an alibi which I do not contribute to. 70% of patients who require surgery for epilepsy can be carried out in any department of neurosurgery where a surgeon is willing to do it. In a center like neurosurgical center in Oxford, when they didn't have all these facilities, they said, like typical British attitude, we don't need all these facilities, this is all rubbish. Why do we need? We have our clinicians, neurologists to diagnose the lesion, and we are the surgeons who can remove the lesion. And therefore, we don't waste our time in doing all these electrocorticography or the, sphenoidal leads, or those days there were no MR and CT anyway. We don't even do pneumogram. Clinical diagnosis is there, we take out the temporal lobe in children. So, important thing is to learn the best, but prepare to do what you can with your limited resources. Then advance from there. And I think it's, I think Ashwini and Sharad will agree that 70% patients don't even require all these facilities. But there are these remaining ones, and the function of institutions like this or NBRC or such spatial center is to look after those that cannot be looked after by a run-of-the-mill department of neurology, neurosurgery. So, thank you very much for inviting me to be here.
Thank you, sir, for your very inspiring words. I hope you continue to inspire us in future and many more years to come. May I now request Professor M.C. Mishra to share a few words with us. Professor M.C. Mishra is Director, All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He is not only a great and accomplished surgeon, but he is also a very good administrator and shares a great vision for All India Institute of Medical Sciences.
Thank you very much, Professor P.N. Tandon, Professor Banerjee, Dr. T.S. Rao. He has to leave for Parliament. Dr. Sinha, Professor B.S. Sharma, Professor N.K. Mishra, Sarath, Deepak, and Dr. Ashwini, Dr. Manmohan. Ladies and gentlemen, for a director, nothing better you can give early in the morning, a gift. So I really congratulate the Department of Neurosurgery for its leadership under Professor B.S. Sharma. Department could not have progressed more than what it has over last few years in many areas. Of course, I don't know whether it's the epilepsy surgery or this lab was Manjari's idea or Sharath's idea, but if Manjari has been able to convince Sharath, that's a wonderful thing. And we must, I think this example where a lady is behind a man is very true. Otherwise, many times I don't agree with this phrase. The other thing I always mention, Professor Banerjee had taken voluntary retirement, I think 6 months prior to his actual superannuation, about 25 years ago, approximately. So after that, we met in Professor B.M.L. Kapoor's daughter's marriage. And I asked him, sir, what do you think about AIIMS? So he said, Mahesh, AIIMS will only progress. I have no doubt in my mind. And which was so true, sir. Because many people after leaving AIIMS, some of them, they are very critical in many ways, which may not be well founded, but they are. And they are because the reason for which they left That might be some bitterness from the department, from the institution, may have done that. So what we have seen since the minimal access surgery at institute began around the same time, and unless we have people with vision like Professor Tandon, Professor Banerjee, and all Dr. B.S. Sharma, things would have not changed. So even I remember when we did the first LabColi in 1991, we were the first ones in India, after Dr. Udwadia did it in 1990 in Bombay, in government or private sector in Delhi. And Professor BML Kapoor never took up this specialty, but he got the equipment well ahead of time, even in those days when money was not easily available, and not to the extent we would want money to be available. Today the situation has changed. So we are almost completing now 25 years of minimal access surgery, and today you name a procedure which cannot be done. And the training in laparoscopy was an issue to begin with, and it remains an issue even today. It's not that, because most medical colleges in India are still not having this service on a routine basis where residents can be exposed and learn with this. So I think this organizing such workshops which you have planned by inviting Dr. Ashwini, I think what I say that we learn by seeing someone who does the procedure in surgery. That's the way we learn. We see some by looking at videos. Then we do some hands-on on animal or on cadaver, and we assist in OR as a first assistant, second assistant, and then somebody assists us when we perform. And that's the way, what I call the model, which is preceptorship-proctorship model, which works best in surgery, whether it's open surgery or any other guided surgery. And that is where these workshops become very important. I remember that we organized live workshops in laparoscopy, and we still do it every year. The advantage or the benefits could be for those surgeons who are not doing can get encouraged, that if X person can do it after training, so do I can do it. And also those who are doing already can refine their procedure. So that's the way it is. Naturally, when the director is invited, then I know that they are going to ask something, as Dr. N.K. Mishra has. So, sir, what we were trying last year, there is a super specialty hospital of Delhi government in Janakpuri. So we thought that if we can get that, it's a building, very fine building, and we thought if the Delhi government agrees, then we can have neurology, neurosurgery, cardiology, cardiac surgeries, some of it there. So because now neurosurgery also has a good faculty number, and it will increase further, and they can actually have people, young people with interested in these areas. But that has not materialized as yet, and I don't think with the present Delhi government it will materialize ever. But we hope if that could be done, then we could have more space, because I really feel that neurosciences center, both cardiology and cardiac surgery, as well as neurology and neurosurgery, require more space. There is no doubt about that. The imaging, neuroradiology need more space. So that is something which is very much needed. How we are going to do in next few years. Maybe we are going to get some land near trauma center. So you can think of, because we were thinking to set up a spine center there. So maybe a few more, like brachial plexus. Now Sumit all the time they all complain about that they don't get time to do brachial plexus surgery. So there are a number of issues. It is good to start epilepsy surgery. As director, what I will face when they start giving dates for this surgery. So the date would go, 2 years, it may increase to 3 years, when more people become aware and they start coming, like for the sleep studies. The date is going 2024. So that is where we have to answer. So I think for that we need expansion, sir. The neurology ICU is a 5-bedded ICU. what you can do with a 5-bedded ICU in today's scenario where you get every day you get requests for a stroke patient to be shifted from X place, from Y place and Z place, and we are after Dr. N.K. Mishra, please give a room, please give a room. It's a huge problem. Then tumors, aneurysms, it's a huge problem. The other day a patient came from Lucknow. He's a child with a brain lesion, and some journalist called me. So I said, why have you brought him from Lucknow? Lucknow, there is a SGPGI, there is a KGMU, then there is a Sahara hospital in private. Why have you brought from Lucknow here? So this is the kind of scenario that everybody lands up at AIIMS for neurosurgical intervention. And rightly so, because it is not one of the, I will say it is the best department in the country, and where all services are available and people really have high expectation. So that is something which is a huge challenge for us. How do we manage this kind of a situation? When Sarath had called me, sir, when in December you inaugurated the epilepsy lab, so I saw that naturally the lab should not have been there in the first place. So I immediately said, give him a proportionate space in the convergence center, and now it's up to you how quickly you can move. And I'm sure that you have to give us some time, whether I am there or not, somebody else will come, but the space problem is going to be sorted out for faculty offices also, the residences also, and also for expanding the patient care, because the whole plan is now to the East Campus to convert into institutional setup, and West side will have residences, and also if we can get something in Kidwai Nagar, then it will really solve a problem for, I think, times to come. So I again congratulate the Department of Neurosurgery, Dr. B.S. Sharma, Dr. Sarat Chand, Manjari, everyone for taking this initiative, because it's the passion which brings about any development. Without that, it's, you cannot move an inch. And I think that the passion with Manjari and Sharath has for epilepsy will take it forward. I have no doubt in my mind, and will come to the expectation of public. As Professor Tandon said, it can be done in most departments of neurosurgery, but problem is how many neurosurgeons we are able to retain in academic institutions. I was just asking, Professor Banerjee told me that, Dr. Professor Tandon, there are about 2,000 neurosurgeons in India of a country of 1.25 billion. And if you look at a city like Agra, anybody can have a guess how many neurosurgeons are practicing in a city like Agra. I thought there were 9, but now they say there are 15 neurosurgeons practicing in Agra. And they are millionaires, billionaires, whatever you call, by only doing, say, head injury and maybe something more. So how do we retain neurosurgeons in academic setup? Because the difference is huge in this economic rewards for in private. And that is a huge challenge, and that is a challenge for every one of us. And I'm really encouraged that the Department of Neurosurgery and the kind of faculty we recruited last time, really very bright boys, and even some girl joined as a faculty at neurosurgery. And they are all very committed. And some of them actually have come from practice to academics. So that is encouragement for us. And I am sure this, because this is because of the department and the way it works. And you give a space for people to work, and I think that is something which is really must be appreciated. So thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule and sharing your vision with us. May I now request Professor Mishra to honor Dr. Ashwari Sharan by giving him a plaque on behalf of All India Institute of Medical Sciences. May I now request Dr. Deepak Agarwal for vote of thanks.
Good morning to all of you. As a co-organizing secretary, it's my privilege to give the vote of thanks. I would like to thank Director AIMS, Director NBRC, Advisor DBT, Chief Neurosciences Center, Professor Tandon, Professor Banerjee for sparing the valuable time and coming over here. When I joined as a resident in the year 2000, I still remember Professor Banerjee and Professor Tandon coming over, taking academic classes right up to 2005 and 2006. So it is amazing the commitment which is shown by them and always holding their hands over our heads. I would like to also thank the departments of neuroanesthesia, neuroradiology and neurology for getting this conference together as a teamwork. I would like to thank our organizing committee members, including our chairman, Professor Sharma, for always supporting and guiding us, Dr. Sharad Chandra and Dr. Manjari, who did all the work, Dr. Manmohan, Vivek, who were there with us, and Medtronic International for actually working hard to get the device visualized into AIMS, which was very difficult otherwise. And I would like to thank neurosurgeons in Kathmandu. We're having a live streaming of this workshop this very minute, and this session also is being streamed there, and we at multiple sites, and they're watching all this in live, including the operation when we'll be doing it. And finally, I would like to thank the audio video people and the caterers for helping us in this conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We will now start with our case discussions for the cases which are posted for today. And breakfast is served outside, and I will request everybody to join us there for a cup of coffee and breakfast. So maybe we can start after a quick breakfast. We can start the case discussion.